Over the last few months, as you've been navigating your days through this world pandemic that we are all experiencing together, what have you been learning? Hi, I'm Ellen Goldman of L&G Coaching, and on today's Wellness Wednesday, I want to share with you what I've learned over the last few months because I think it just might help you find a bit more contentment during these ever-changing, tumultuous, and confusing, challenging days that we are all going through. So, over the last couple of weeks, I've had some fun. I've been asking this question to clients, friends, colleagues, relatives. Um, you know, what have you been learning? When we've been having discussions about the world as it is today, and people are sharing their difficulties and their concerns and their worries, I've chosen to throw in, to shift the mindset just a bit, a question: what have you been learning? And I have been so surprised by some of the really interesting answers that I've gotten to that question. Things such as, I learned that teachers have the hardest job on earth. I learned how to sew face masks. I learned that jigsaw puzzles are really fun. I've learned that I will never, ever again take for granted the simple things in life. So it's been interesting talking to others, but it certainly got me pondering, what have I learned? What is lessons I will take away from this experience when we're looking at it through the rearview mirror? So I was one of the really fortunate ones. I have a business that I've been working from my home for years. Most of the work that I do is remote. So my Monday through Friday didn't really change too much. I didn't have to learn how to work from home. I didn't have to learn how to homeschool my kids. They're grown and they have all graduated from school. And again, my days were pretty busy Monday through Friday. However, I am a high energy individual. I like being busy. And so pre-pandemic, outside of my Monday through Friday busy work week, the rest of my days and hours were super busy too. I traveled a lot. I've got relatives across different areas in this country, and I love going to visit them. I traveled for business. My husband and I love to go to the theater. We love to go to concerts. I host most of the holidays in my house. So my days were filled, outside of my working hours, with planning and scheduling and being really busy. And I love that. That's who I am. So although my Monday through Friday didn't change very much when we were called to, shelter in place and everything closed down, outside of that working hours, well, that changed a lot. And like the rest of the world, when it first happened, I was pretty in shock and overwhelmed and adrift and sort of having a really hard time settling into life that was different and scary and confusing. But of course, over time, we all needed to settle into a new norm. And I too did that. And again, my work hours were pretty much the same, but I was adrift on the hours when I wasn't working, not quite sure how to navigate, what to do with my time to kind of just be okay. And so I had to kind of explore new avenues. And so when I pondered that question, what have I learned? I discovered what I learned is that I don't always have to be doing. Sometimes being is just as good. So what do I mean by that? I started to notice that when I finished up work at the end of the day, I would take my dog out for a walk and I would stroll. It wasn't, okay, I got to hurry up to do the next errand. I stopped. I talked with neighbors. Sometimes I sit on my deck and I just savor the beautiful summer weather that we are having. drink a cup of coffee or share a glass of wine with a friend, 6 feet apart, of course, without so much worrying and rushing to what's the next thing on my schedule. I noticed I wasn't watching the time quite as much, and I was actually feeling calm, less stressed, and really content. So that lack of running around and planning gave me a gift, the time to just be. And I realized that despite still being worried, being concerned, reading the news, keeping up to date with what's going on in the world, and wanting this so much to be behind me, that I was still doing okay, that I was content. And the sad truth is, none of us knows how long this is going to go on, how long our world is going to be different. The things that we are missing, the travel, the vacations, the going to the store and enjoying looking at new things rather than getting them delivered online. We don't know how long this is going to take. Wherever you're listening from, you might be in a state that is opening up little and little, or you might be in a state that opened up and then shut back down again, or anything in between. But the truth is, it's important, it's imperative for our health and well-being that we find ways to just be okay and content during the time until life gets back to something that is a little less constrained. So I have 2 suggestions for you. One, the next time you find yourselves with friends or family kind of commiserating about these difficult times that we are having, throw in that interesting question. Maybe you can shift it to one with more fun and curiosity and ask, what are you learning? And I ask you, what are you learning during these times? Please share that in the comments below this video. But also, the next time you find yourself restless, frustrated, even angry at the constraints that we all have on our daily lives right now, take a deep breath, relax, and try to just be. Savor the world around you. Savor a telephone conversation or a FaceTime talk with somebody you love. And really just be. Because remember, those days will come again when we suddenly will be moaning and groaning. There's just not enough hours in the day to get everything done. They'll be here again, but we don't know when. So we need to just be. Thanks for listening in. I sincerely hope that you found this valuable and helpful. And if you do, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you'll be alerted when I put more videos up, and share it with others who might just find that they too need to be okay with not always doing and sometimes just being.